Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of the Athlete Chronicles podcast. My name is Tom Connolly, and joining me today is
Okay.
co-host Henry Che. We're going to be doing a little bit different of a show today. Today, we're going to be talking to a new pro with the Vancouver Bandits, none other than newly signed Dominic Parolin. Welcome to the show, man.
Yeah, I'm happy to be here. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, no, we appreciate your time. I know you just finished your basketball career at Boise State, and we're happy that you're here, and we're talking to you to get to know you a little bit, and we appreciate everything. So if you're ready to roll, we'll get right into it.
Okay.
So tell me, Dominic, where I know you're from here, but tell me a little bit about yourself. Where are you from?
I'm originally from Coquitlam. So, I mean, just a suburb around Vancouver. I went to Centennial Secondary where I played all 4 years of high school basketball. Yeah, from there I went to Lehigh on the East Coast, near Pennsylvania, near Philadelphia. I did my undergrad degree there, and I just finished my last 2 years getting my grad degree at Boise State.
Oh, excellent. We've had a couple different people from Centennial on the show already. I don't know what it is about that area, but you guys get some good basketball players.
Yeah. Yeah, we had some good bigs.
Well, I'm just looking at some of your stats that you had from when you played in your senior year, like 29 points, 17 rebounds, almost 5 assists a game. Like those are killing.
Yeah.
What 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 was your Centennial team like? Like I know you guys were ranked for a while. Was were you the primary offense? Was there other guys that could do a bunch of things with you, or was it kind of in and out through you?
I might definitely commanded a lot of attention, but we had a lot of games where I was getting like double, triple teamed, and we had some great players that ended up playing in college for a bit, and they were able to contribute too.
So when you were playing at Centennial, when did those offers to continue your basketball um, start coming?
Um, it really took a while. I didn't really start getting D1 offers until the end of my senior year, and even at that, it was a bit strange because that's when COVID really started hitting. So I ended up going to Lehigh. They're really the only team that wanted to take the chance on me throughout COVID, like not having visited or anything, not having seen me in person. So I'm grateful for that opportunity.
Did you get an opportunity to go visit Lehigh, or did
No,
COVID take that away from you as well?
my visit was a FaceTime call with my coach walking through campus. But yeah, so I saw campus for the first time when I showed up in the fall.
Oh, okay. Well, it kind of takes that next question away where Henry is going to ask you how, well, I guess he can, like how the process go with Lehigh.
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely untraditional. I remember a funny story. My my coach, on our quote unquote visit where he's on FaceTime, he asked me to stand in a doorway to confirm that I'm as tall as I was, because usually he likes to gauge guys out when he goes and watches them play. But when you only have film, you can't really tell.
But you got a doorway, you bring out the measuring tape. That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
So, what was your like day-to-day basketball grind like in college?
I mean, here at Boise, it's a bit different than it was at Lehigh. I mean, it's just workout in like individual workout in the morning, and then do my classes, get whatever I need done, and then show up for practice. We got film, lift, and pretty much rinse, repeat. But with Lehigh, there's a lot more, lot heavier academics. I guess it was a bit harder to get in those like individual workouts and get working outside of practice. So
Yeah, your day-to-day grind. I've seen some clips on Instagram of what people talk about what a D1 school is like. Are you up at 6 in the morning, starting your day in the basketball court, and then going to class, and then finishing at 7, 8 o'clock at night?
yeah, well, I'm happy my coaches here at Boise because they recognize how important sleep can be. So I mean, we don't really start much stuff until like 10, 11. So I'm able to sleep into around like 9, get my workout in at 10, and then practice throughout the day and just get into class.
Okay, good. It's nice to have coaches that appreciate sleep because obviously it's important. I've seen some
Yeah.
clips as well where coaches describe you as like an everyday, hardworking, no nonsense type of player. I've seen you play a couple
Mhm.
seasons or a couple years at Dolphin Park tournament where, what stood out for
Mhm.
me when I was watching you is like you just you just grind and you do what you do. Like, when did you start learning those characteristics that would be defining who you are today?
I think it's just I've heard people talk about like not being results oriented, and really just applying that mindset and seeing the impact that has, like truly not caring about the outcome of like making shots or even winning games, just doing everything you can in your control, and just living with the outcome and trusting that you did whatever you could.
Yeah, what strikes me on the stats that I see of you is you almost, just rebounding wise, forget everything else, you almost get as many offensive rebounds as you do defensive rebounds, which shows a little bit more
Mhm.
work ethic, because it's, defensive rebounds a little easier than the offensive ones. You got to work for those.
I was just saying before, defensive rebounding, it's more about boxing out and just letting whoever go get the ball. It doesn't matter as long as it's on your team, versus offense rebound. It's like, this is me. I'm getting that ball from you.
Yeah, well, and it's a good skill to have, because a lot of people just want someone else to do it. So you putting in that work
Definitely.
ethic is going to serve you well with the Bandits for sure. Um,
Mhm.
with this process now, so you said it was a late start, COVID, to kind of get to Lehigh. Now, when did the pro talks start for the end of this season for next year, or for the Bandits? Like, when did that communication start?
Um, yeah, I mean, I've always had a good relationship with a lot of the staff of the Bandits, and I came out to a game last year when I was back in town, and we we had discussed potentially doing something this year once I'm graduating. But I mean, it's really something I've always wanted to do. I know the Bandits are like relatively new. It's really been a dream of mine to be able to play pro, like in front of my family and stuff.
Well, I can tell you just from previous years and previous experience, which I'm sure Coach Kyle's talked to you about, is like this past season, everybody that played with the Bandits moved on to professional contract somewhere else. So he's
Hmm.
he's got he's got great practices. He's got a great work ethic. He's serious. You guys have an opportunity to advance your careers for sure.
Definitely.
So, let me ask you. You already mentioned that you're from Coquitlam. Did you ever think like you would get that opportunity to play for your hometown, like for the Vancouver Bandits?
Like I said, when I was like a lot younger, we didn't even have pro teams in a pro team Vancouver, so I didn't know it was a possibility. But yeah, as soon as the team was announced that it was happening, like I always hoped for it. I knew it was a bit more of a possibility in these past couple of years, but yeah, I couldn't have imagined this like back in high school.
When you look back at your final months in college, and seeing that first pro contract, what's the one thing you wish you knew about, I guess the business aspect about, like, whatever agents, workouts, camps?
Hmm, that's a good question. I don't know. I think it's too early to say like anything I wish I knew, because I'm really just starting as a pro. Like I'm brand new to this. I don't really know what works, what doesn't work. So I guess maybe I'll get back to you by the end of the season.
Sure.
Do you think you have, like, have you talked to other pros about their first experiences? Like, do you think there's going to be learning curves for you?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I've had so many old teammates go on to play pro, and they just say like it's a whole new game. You're playing with men now instead of kids, and yeah, it's just all about like working your way up and fighting for that next contract.
So, I thought about this one real well because I had some insight from others. So with most D1 stars, right, they have to adapt like on being role players, or like they need like specific roles when when they're early into their like pro careers. How are you going to, like, obviously you haven't gotten there yet, but how are you going to be able to refine your game to fill a specific spot on that Bandits roster?
Um, yeah, well, I think I'm already just having so much experience in college. I've already had the opportunity to sort of adapt my game where I feel like I could kind of plug and play anywhere. The type of things I do, just like defense, rebounding, hustle, and just being in general, just like a smart basketball player. Like I think that translates to any level, and just about like refining skills moving forward.
How is your daily training routine? Like, how has that been able to change the way you now um play? And is there like, do you ever feel like, we always say like in school as students, there's a workload. Has there ever been like a course load and like workouts for you ever? or you feel like it's just extra work you need to get in?
Yeah, I mean, it's really just like I said, like refining the things I already do. There's definitely an element of expanding my game and like building new skill sets, but yeah, at least up until this point, it's really just been just honing in the skills I built my game around.
Has it ever been easier or harder to stay disciplined with your work?
100%. Yeah, I don't. If someone tells you it's easy, they're lying. Um, yeah, especially with school and everything, just all the other things that go on with life. It can be tough to get in and work out every single day, but I mean, you just got to push through and make it work.
Obviously you haven't gotten there yet, but how do you think, like, obviously you translating in college, you're playing with guys that are probably like 18, 22 years old. Now you might see the guy that's 32, wife and kids. How would that change now the atmosphere in the locker room for you, the way you guys interact with each other?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely is going to be a bit of a shock going from like the most experienced guy on my team to now probably the least experienced. But I mean, ideally it doesn't change much. I think I still try to take on leadership roles where I can, and I think just make more of an effort to learn from other guys because, and if you've been playing pro for 10 years, you're doing something right.
Yeah.
Do you characterize yourself as kind of like an outgoing kind of guy or a more quiet, reserved?
I'm definitely more of a quiet guy. Um, I can be pretty loud on the court, like when I need to be, but I'm like in my personal life, I'm pretty reserved.
Yeah. I mean, I think I know how this question will go because you going from here down to Lehigh, I mean, it can be lonely until you really get to know the guys. And coming back, it's a little different because you're coming to your hometown. But what do you kind of do on off days just to kind of just make sure you're good, you stay mentally fresh, avoid burnout? Like, what at college are you? Is it 7 days a week, or do you actually get time off to just be you?
No, we get a good amount of off days. Like, I mean, I guess depends how well our team's playing, but yeah, we'll get at least an off day a week. Yeah, I mean, during the season, I got a lot going on, so I like to just like stay in. Just like I got a lot of like hobbies and stuff. Like I like playing piano and like doing like jigsaw puzzles. Just things that are like pretty mellow, just to help calm me down.
That are just
What do
completely
you what do
different
you
than basketball?
what do you expect most, from yourself, in this first pro season for you?
Um, I mean, I just want to contribute to the team however I can. I think just it being my first pro contract, I don't want to really go in with too many like goals or expectations because I really like I have nothing to base that on, I guess. So really just go in and do whatever I can, impact winning as much as I can and see what happens.
Come in with energy. That'll be the advice that I give you. Come in with energy. Kyle likes energy. He likes communication. He likes working hard. He likes dogs. Our motto this year is going to be like championship drive, right? Like what's going to get us to that championship game and put us over the top this year? Maybe it'll be Dominic.
Yeah.
You touched on it a second ago. What's what's something that would most surprise fans to learn about you? Is it the piano? Is it the jigsaw puzzle?
Maybe piano. I don't know how many people. Yeah, I've been playing piano since I was like 3 or 4 years old, and I kind of hated it when I was a kid, just because like I had to do lessons and everything. But now that I'm past that and I just play when I want to, like it's such a nice just like release for me, I guess.
Is there a style of music that you like?
No, I just play whatever, like whatever songs I'm listening to at the time. I like to play on piano.
Would you say that you're more locked in, pregame, or you're the type to, joke around before tip off?
Um, I think I just usually I'm more locked in, but I really don't think about too much about like I'm just gonna behave how I feel like I should before the game. You know what I mean? Like I'm not gonna like pretend to be super locked in and like block everything out when maybe I'm in the mood to just be a little more relaxed that day. So I think it's just about being comfortable and whatever works for you at the time.
So you kind of touched on the fact that, you like to play piano. So let's hope besides that, besides basketball, what are you like away from, putting the ball in the basket?
Like I said, I'm a pretty quiet guy. I like programming, like coding. I have a Rubik's Cube on my desk here. There's little like brain games type of stuff, like jigsaw puzzles. I'm not a super social guy, so I like staying in by myself, and I got a bunch of hobbies.
Have you worked on that the Rubik's Cube pattern to finish it in like in a fast pace?
Yeah, I think my best time is like 20 seconds.
Whoa, really? Jeez.
Yeah.
Well, that's something that people won't know about you. You got the second. You probably have the Rubik's Cube record on the team for sure. Dominic, we really appreciate you coming on the show. We always end the show with 8 quick hitter questions. So they're just kind of questions, first thing that comes to your mind, and we'll finish it off with that. So if you're ready, we'll
Okay.
start the clock. Okay. Pre-game meal.
It's like chicken and rice.
Best school atmosphere you've played in, high school or college.
Utah State.
What type of movie guy are you? Comedy, action, romance, thriller?
Honestly, a little bit of romance.
Okay. Toughest player you've ever guarded.
I heard Armando Baycott a couple years back.
Where's he from?
North Carolina. I think he was an All-American that year.
Favorite superhero.
Spider-Man.
Best memory of something you did, not your team, that you did during your college career.
I had 33 points against our rival school back at Lehigh in a double overtime game.
That's a good memory. One song that gets you locked in.
I don't have any specific song that I listen to.
Okay. Last question. Who's your GOAT? LeBron, Jordan, or someone else?
LeBron. And I don't think there's a question.
That's not a question, eh? I guess 6'9" guy and a 6'9" guy. There you go. Okay. Dom, really appreciate you joining us. We're gonna get this out in a little bit, but we appreciate your time.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah. When will we see you? When are you gonna be in town?
Start of May, pretty much like when training camp starts.
When training camp starts.
Yeah, I just got to finish up all
Right on.
my classes down here at Boise.
Okay, well, we'll say goodbye for now. So thanks again for joining us, and we'll see you soon.
Okay, see ya.